Guys, I have further proof that time is not real, and this one is definitive because it's backed by mathematics. So, the entropy formula of a black hole is A, which is area of the black hole, times Boltzmann's constant times relativity, or the speed of light cubed, 4 times Newton's constant times Planck's constant. That is the formula for the area of a black hole. So why does this matter? Well, area is a two-dimensional space. So the entropy of a black hole, well, what I should say is this suggests that a black hole is not a three-dimensional object. And if it's not a three-dimensional object, that means it has no fourth dimension, which would be time. You can't get to time existing. You can't skip a dimension. You can't go from area, which is a two-dimensional space, to space-time. You need the third dimension, which is basically volume. So the difference between area and volume is area is the unit of a two-dimensional space, whereas volume is the amount of information that can be contained within a three-dimensional space. So huge difference there. And the fact that black holes operate in two-dimensional equations suggests that, and this is with regard to entropy, which is entropy is related to time, you see. Entropy is basically that you can't unring the bell. Once the process starts, you can't reverse the process. Time seems to go in one direction because of entropy. So it's very interesting that the entropy formula of a black hole is in two dimensions. Entropy by itself is derivative of time, and then the area of a black hole area is two-dimensional, so there's no time component. So somehow black holes are not three-dimensional, and that implies many things like hologram theory. It also would imply the size of a black hole. We keep hearing about these gigantic black holes, and that assumes a depth component to them with a singularity at the end. But if they're two-dimensional objects, and really just the event horizon is getting wider and wider, it seems like that implies there's not as much information in the universe as one might expect, which actually supports my theory that the universe gets rendered. As we walk through it, we render it. Yeah, it suggests that because rendering by definition has less information in one area than is in the whole world, whereas that's exactly what's happening with a black hole if it's two-dimensional. So yeah, it seems to support rendering. So all of this points to a lot of different things, but in terms of this video, it points to time not being real. I always give two reasons time is not real. The speed of light. If you go the speed of light, time stands still. Well, time basically ceases to exist. Time standing still is tantamount to time ceasing to exist. Conversely, at the other extreme, if all objects stop moving, time ceases to exist. So, what is time? It's a measurement of the relative movement of objects. That's how I like to define it. So, it's not real. It's something that emerges once motion is put into place through, the forces that we know of nature. How did those come to be? We don't know. They might have been eternal. That's my guess. And monkey brain doesn't like the concept of eternal because we like causality. So there might not be causality here. I don't struggle with causality because I think of it like this, and this is the same reason I don't struggle with infinity. Causality is simply a moment, like say I take my fist and bang it and it makes a noise. Causality is simply the noise being made without me banging my fist, which I could very easily envision. So, yeah, something caused a fluctuation here to make that noise without my fist doing it. So how's that happen? I don't know. Quantum vacuum, frequency distributions, these would be ways it could happen. Doesn't matter how it happens. Doesn't matter. And what matters is the noise was always there. It didn't need my fist to do this. My fist just agitated this to the point I could hear the noise, but the noise was always there. And that's why I don't care about causality. I'm also a musician, and I pick songs from the ether. There's this space where every possible song exists. Well, when I write a song, I'm just finding one of those permutations. They always existed. They were eternally there. You know, when Bob Dylan wrote "A Hard Rain Is Gonna Fall," a hard rain is gonna fall always existed. He was just the conduit. So I'm just a monkey conduit to time. I make time render, basically, is what I do. I make time render. Monkeys are a time, or humans, I guess you could say, are a time rendering machine. That's what we are. Through the process of observation, that's what we're doing. So, yep, more proof time is not real, this time backed by pure mathematics. Look up the entropy equation. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's the area of a black hole times Boltzmann's constant times relativity cubed, or speed of light cubed, divided by 4 over Newton's constant times Planck's constant. That's the equation. So a black hole's area times all these constants. Area, 2-dimensional surface, no time component to it. Super unique equation. You would expect this to be a V, not an A. You would expect this to be volume, not area. You would expect 3 dimensions, not 2, in other words. Volume is 3 dimensions, area is 2. You can't have time without volume. You can't skip a dimension. So black holes are 2-dimensional structures. Yeah. Sorry. I hate to break the physics community, but it's broken. That's the reality of it as I see it, at least on a lot of pot.